Hello. Oh, Mr. J. Thank you so much for the 8 months. How are you? Thank you, thank you. ODN, hello. One Drunk Man. Hello, happy Sunday. Man Proton, hello, hello. Finally streaming at a decent time. What does that even mean? It's a normal time. It literally is in the middle of my day. So... Peaches, Ryotaro, hello, Eric. Are we meeting soon? I mean, we could. The current climate of things is not very good to meet up, but I mean... Oh, Mr. J, thank you so much for the Scuffed raid. Welcome, Scuffed Raiders. Clock Bob, thank you so much for the 5 months. Hello everybody. Avo, Future Bound, hello. Hey, how's it going, everyone? How's your stream, Mr. J? What do you build today? What do you do today? Alright, hello. Feliz domingo, Captain Mike. ¿Cómo estás? FC65 Kepler with a custom ISO PCB. It needed surgery. Oh, the PCB needed surgery or the plate? What was the surgery about? Both? Did it end up working? PCB had to be trimmed to fit the case. Oh my goodness. Wait, so the PCB was too long? That's not common. Don't hear that usually. Lucky? Yeah, lucky that you didn't get to cut any traces or anything like that. Got pretty lucky there. Alright, so today we are building a Merisi Sessantacinque. If you haven't heard of the board, it's a board by Merisi Works. The designers Username is Morning Coffee. They go by Morning Coffee. And yeah, and so we're gonna be building one of the production units from the group buy today. That is quite the name. I mean, it literally just means 65 in Italian. It's literally saying Merisi 65. Like, it's nothing crazy. Very good. Very good. Molto bene. That's right. Alright, so here we have it. Indeed, as you could expect, it has these hands as the logo of the bag. Any day now, the cancellation is coming. It'll be a global cancellation, a multicultural cancellation. You get it? Every culture of the world will band up together to cancel this keyboard streamer, unfortunately. Alright, I think this is a carbon fiber plate that we're not going to be using today, but there is a carbon fiber plate here, but just so you can see it. We're going to be using aluminum today, per the preference of the client. But just so you know it exists. Here's our PCB, daughter board cable and bump-ons. Zaniox, hello! Alright, so the board comes in a beautiful black with a red plate. Nice contrast to the case. It's a very nice board. We built the prototype of this many months ago, and then we built the 84 84. We built that prototype not too long ago, and we come full circle and we build a production unit today. Below here, it looks like we just have an extra PCB, which I'll just leave alone. Very old school looking board. Yeah, pretty classic. I mean, that's the goal of the whole goal of the series of boards by Morning Coffee, at least at the time, it is to basically make a functional and aesthetically simple board. Is it plate top mount? Yeah, it is top mount. I hate how the blockers look. I only dislike the wind keyless blocker in 65 just because I find it dysfunctional, but it's really not a huge deal. I mean, it could be worse. But let's actually before we even test this out, I mean, I'm gonna have to take the plate out anyway. So let's test out the PCB and put these bump-ons on, and then also retrieve the plate from the case. This board is fire, and I'm not a top mount. I hate top mount. I'm saying this board is fire. Why do you hate top mount? What's wrong with top mount? What wrong has it done to you? Because I feel like top mount can be pleasant if you just change your plate and your switches. You can adjust it however you want it. You can be just as pleasant as any other mounting experience, in my opinion. So it's rather, I think to have tried it one time with one configuration and making such a sweeping statement is, well, a sweeping statement. Top mount equal to tray mount? That is very false. That is a very false statement too. It's not the same. They are literally in different places. I've tried any plate you can think of. What keyboard do you try? Perhaps it might have just been the keyboard. Diego, where do you come out on stainless plates? Stainless plates are fine. I personally don't prefer them for extended usage. I think occasional usage is fine. I think the thing about stiffer plates is that stiffer plates are fine, just in general. But I personally, for extended periods of time, don't like them because they tire me out. But that's about it. I mean, I don't mind them though. Like I have brass plate builds. Acrylic can be actually pretty stiff too, pretty hard feeling on bottom out. So top mount is solid. I mean, top mount just works, right? How are you on this cold Sunday? Asks Big Max and Onions. I'm warm right now because my room is fortunately warm. But if I go into like my living room area, it's obscenely cold. Yeah. Fortunately, the rooms are pretty well insulated and warm. We do have central heating, so can't control really how hot it is, but at least they keep it warm for the building, so that's good. Oh shoot, I actually have to retrieve the daughter board too, so I guess I can't really, I have to open it up anyway. Alright. Probably no stainless on my new project then. You have tie broken something for me? Okay. Well, that's good. ABS, nylon, even acrylic. I actually don't mind acrylic plates on alu boards. I don't know. I personally would say I've tried a lot of different top mount keyboards, and I think a lot of it's not just the plate material and the switch. It's also like where you're mounting it, right? Like top mount can vary quite a bit because basically you're putting fixed points onto the top piece where the plate is attaching, and so depending on where the position of those mounting positions, like where those mounting positions are, you can change the feel of top mount quite considerably. And then there's people who have done it differently too, like if I recall correctly, the Bias by Bion and the Cloudline by Mr. Justin also implement a different way of doing top mount, and they're also interesting, in which they basically have modified the plate and the way the plate is attached to the top, but it's still technically top mount because it does have to attach to the top, and it feels softer significantly. So Mail K, hello. Jeff Leopard, it just works? Yeah. For long pole linears, thoughts on CF versus alu? I think CF will bring out the sound of a long pole linear quite a lot. So if you would like a prominent typing sound, I think carbon fiber would be pretty nice. But as far as stiffness goes, carbon fiber and aluminum are quite comparable, feature bound. So I think either way you won't go wrong as far as how it feels. But I think how it sounds might be more prominent on carbon fiber than on aluminum. Just got back from snowboarding. Ooh. Freezing rain on icy. Ah, okay, that sucks. That's actually like not worth going to snowboard or ski if it's like that. Okay. Is the red plate default for this board? Yes, it is. Red aluminum plate is the default for this keyboard. Yes. When I judge a board, I take away my preferences. You know, if that is indeed the case, I have to say a lot of people don't do that either. So, yeah, it all depends on the person though. Some people, I mean, well, I can't say I'm a very good person at taking away my preferences. Because, well, if I'm quote-unquote judging something, well, I am judging it by my own standards. So, yes. When you judge, you are a judgmental. Like, you can be a judgmental person, and I certainly can come off that way. Are 910 plates compatible with this? No. Most likely not. No, most definitely not, sorry. Most definitely not compatible with this. Oh, hello. Patty, how are you? Good to see you. Do you like OP Blacks? So, fun thing that you mentioned that. I literally have a bag of OP Blacks here that I have lubed partially, and partially that I haven't. As far as my lubing experience with these goes so far, they're pretty good. But I haven't, like, typed on them yet, because, well, I haven't finished. So, I will reserve those thoughts for later. But as far as how they feel when I'm lubing them, like, they feel very smooth. And I'm sure they'll sound fine. So, I think I'll be happy with them. I'm not too picky, fortunately. I'm not an extremely picky person when it comes to switches. So I think I'll be fine. How's the build? I mean, we just started, so nothing much yet. Let's see. I missed something. The Cloudline looked like it moved a ton and it was top mount. Yeah. Cloudline had a plate that moved quite a bit and it was top mount. Yes. You could actually say that of other boards too. There's actually a decent number of boards like that now. Would you say ergo clears are still worth making? Are there better tactiles out there for a plateless build? Well, like, I mean, to give you an opinion, my Xeno is currently built in a plateless configuration thanks to the SIMP kit by Mr. Sony on Keycaps. Basically it uses these tabs, 3D printed tabs that enable the PCB to sit in the bottom of the case. And I built that with ergo clears, plateless. And it's pretty nice. I like it. That said, ultimately it's your preference. I mean, I know people who are I know people who don't use anything other than ergo clears. So it means that for some people it's really, yeah, it's just preference. Yeah, some people love ergo clears. I certainly like them a lot. So I think saying better is kind of a word choice. I see the 910 has that one extra mounting point. Well, it's not even one extra mounting point. They're also symmetrically distributed and in different positions too. So that's gonna make a difference too. What board are they going on to go on? Diego DOP Blacks? I'm not sure yet, but I'm lubing them anyway because I wanted to try them. Speedrun build? I'm not. Why would I speedrun the build? Why am I in a rush in the first place? I'm not in a rush. Do I have a? I think I have a layout saved for this. Nope, I guess not. Okay, I guess these don't work. Alright, that's... Wait, actually... Are they different? Hold up. Okay, I guess these are all different slightly. Okay, they're all different. I'll just edit the layout then. Let's see, so we have to do 7U today because we have a blocker, and we're gonna do 2U backspace. Probably put this to left one for now. Let's put pipe here, backspace here, the rest is fine. Okay, that's okay. Delete here. Okay, the rest is okay. And alright, let's go to key tester. Oh, Mr. Alex, hi. How are you? How was your stream today? I saw you were streaming earlier around like noon. Do you prefer top mount or gasket? What? O-ring in typing feel? I think it just depends on the board for me. I like all of the above. I'm not too picky. I have to be honest with you. If it's comfortable to type on, like as in, if it, you know, is something that I can use for a whole day or 3 days or a week or whatever, it's good enough for me. And if I like it aesthetically, well, even better. But overall, like, I do go for a softer typing experience in general, but that doesn't mean I will never pick a metallic plate, for example. Like that's not necessarily true. It was good. I hope you're well. I'm doing okay. Doing just fine. Managing. Hey Diego, I have an Evergreen Sunsetter R2 on order, and I was wondering if you think a beige color like Cherry Stone PBT would match well. Evergreen? Yeah, because green tones will go well with anything that has like a natural sort of color scheme. So like browns, beige, cream, that kind of stuff will go pretty well with green in general. Even if it's like a lighter green, it will go fine. As long as it's not like lime green, I think you'll be fine. But if it's like a foresty green or like a slightly tealish green, that'll work fine. I'm so addicted to Mushoku Tensei light novel, didn't sleep until 3 AM last night. It's Monday today. Of course. I knew you were gonna no-life it when you said you were gonna start reading it. I was like, yeah, Peaches is not gonna have a weekend to do anything else. Blame Diego, cultist, excuse you. I am a firm believer of the of revering the Migurdian tribe. For those who don't know the reference, you don't have to worry about it. It's best not to. It's best not to know. Misfire, hello. Hope you're having a good one. Thank you. I hope you are doing well as well. I am doing fine though. If you know, you know, yeah. Cause I don't know, yeah. Exactly. Dude, I want to watch Demon Slayer, but AOT crashed the entire damn thing. Oh, that sucks. That's also no surprise. I feel like anytime Attack on Titan is airing, all of the streaming services crash that day, like on Sundays. So I always had to wait. That's actually like every Sunday that Attack on Titan would air. It's like this every single time. Yep. Alright, maybe I'll actually flip this over. Maybe like that. And then we'll put the top piece on the side of that. Did AOT start? The new part, yeah, the new season did. I will not be starting it yet, though. I will binge it all, probably. I read the manga, though, so I kind of know already what happens anyway. But I'm just gonna take my time for it. I like OP Blacks, but I think Zaku's are better. Zaku's are okay. I don't like long pole as much anyway, so for me, maybe Zaku's are in for me. I like normal stems for linears. But that said, I don't mind long pole. Like I like my reds, for example. And I've tried others, which is right. They're good, but I think sound wise and feel wise, I prefer the normal travel length and whatnot. Extremely clacky, yeah. There's that too. Aaron. I want to ask how you loop stats. I guess I'll just watch it now. Yeah, it's pretty simple though. I basically like I should say, maybe there's like 3 steps to it for me. Looping steps, pretty simple. First, evenly coat, lightly coat any touching surfaces. So for me, that is going to be inner wall, left and right of each stabilizer housing, just very lightly. And then it's also going to be the circular portion where the wire is going to touch the housing, so like the clip side on both sides, because when I grab a housing, it's at random where if I put it on the right or on the left. So like, you know, like this portion over here, like this portion, and then this portion, just lightly, it's fine. And then as you can see, the inner wall is lightly coated. So basically do that with all of them. And then step number 2 is basically do the same with the stem. Very light coat on the outer side, and then on the inner part where the wire is supposed to go, you can be a little bit more generous, but you don't want to put too much in because you're gonna lube the wire too. So the idea is light everything, and then the wire is gonna be a little bit heavier towards the tip of the wire, where it's supposed to make the most contact to cause the rattle. So the whole goal of lubing is not to make it smoother. It's not to make it smoother. I'll repeat that again. It is not to make your stabilizer have a smoother motion. It's not like the switch. Your goal is to eliminate rattle. That's it. No different. There's no other goals from lubing a stab. Your goal is to get rid of any extraneous noises, sounds, things that make it unpleasant to use. So yeah, do not lube because you think you're going to make your stab smoother. In fact, the more surfaces you lube, the more things you lube on a stab, the more sluggish they are going to feel. Why? Because it's grease. This grease especially is particularly thick. I mean, there's even thicker ones. But the idea is that you do not, like, if you want to make the action a bit smoother, in fact, I would say omit lubing the inner walls, omit lubing the outer walls of the stem, right? You can do that actually. In fact, it's advisable if you know what you're doing and if you would rather leave those intact so that you only focus on things like the wire, which you can do, but I prefer to play it safe. I would rather give it a slight sluggishness to it where I know the stab motion is gonna be slightly more stopped, I guess, but it at least guarantees that the surfaces are covered, and if I have any kind of inconsistency in my application of the lubricant, it's covered by the fact that I just lubed a little more. But that's it. That's about it. Oh, Mr. Bueno, 1 year. Thank you so much for the 12 months of subbing. Thank you, and welcome back. Been using Popos lately, which are just recolor OP blacks. Yeah, I heard they're pretty good. Too scared to start anime now because delay is scary. Last 2 episodes of 86 Second Core will air in March 2022. Well, I think delays like that are unexpected though. It's not like they announce these delays at the beginning of the season. So, yeah, I mean, if you don't like waiting, then yeah, do that. I tend to follow 1 or 2 seasonal shows, and then the rest I am normally catching up or / watching recommended shows that people tell me about of previous seasons or of previous years even, because I actually had to catch up with a lot of shows. Did I miss a Matrix Flash sale? Oh, I see. Use the BDZ? I have used BDZ before, and I don't mind it either. I prefer to use 205. I have better consistency with 205, specifically just like the way I apply it and the way I use it. And actually, the thing about BDZ is that it's a little messier, for me at least. The part that gets messy for BDZ is if you are using BDZ and something else, like 205 or any other kind of grease, is the problem is when BDZ somehow comes out of the place where it is, right? Like the wire, and mixes with other things like 205, it causes some issues. And it looks really nasty, and it kind of smears everywhere, and that's something I don't like. Another thing about BDZ that I personally am not a big fan of is if I needed to reapply any kind of lube for any kind of reason, like maybe it displaced, or I just didn't apply enough the first time, or something like that, it's harder to apply after the build is done. So I prefer not to use it for that reason. So you know what I mean? Like the fewer different components I use to the build, the easier it is for me to fix the problem, because I know exactly what, like there's only one substance in there aside from the plastic, and that's 205. So to address the problem, it's much easier to apply 205 like retroactively after the fact that it's built. Gonna watch Odd Taxi. I wonder if I need to have previous experience with JoJo before I start new JoJo series on Netflix. I think people say that you probably should have some JoJo exposure to watch JoJo's new stuff, but because it gives you a much fuller experience, yeah. So your advice is only use 205, not any other grease on the wire? I personally stick to that, but it does not matter what you actually use. Whether you use dielectric grease, 204, 205, BDZ, whatever it is, your skill in applying it matters more than, like, the way you apply it matters more than what you're applying. What you're applying will help or change the way it behaves a little bit, but it's not it's not all of it. Yeah. So I use 205 because I happen to have a lot of 205 in the first place. I have this ginormous tub of 205, as you can see, and I would like to use it because, well, I did buy it for hundreds of dollars. So there's that reason. And then number two reason is, of course, well, you know, I'm used to it. And I know I can achieve consistent results relatively. So that's the thing that I like about using 205. You know, I stick to the things that work, that I know have worked in the past. So the second step, as I was saying, is you're applying lube on the inside part. But specifically, what you want to address here with the lube on the inner part of the stem is the top part, the top wall of the inside, because that is where the wire is actually making contact. The wire is not necessarily making, it might make contact on the bottom part, but that's not where the rattle's happening. The rattle's happening when it touches this top part over here inside of the stem. So you can be a little bit more generous with the lube here, but you know, you still want to make sure it's just an even coat and not much more. So yeah. So how are your Sundays going, people? I hope y'all have had a good weekend. It's been the world's been changing these days because of new outbreaks, which is all our fault. We can blame other people all we want, but it's unfortunate. We live on the same planet, right? Building a dolphin right now, tuning my stabs. Nice. Very nice. Dolphin's a nice board. Leave the planet, I want to be alone. I mean, hey. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be alone, but I mean, yeah. People do kind of suck sometimes. A lot of the time. It's okay. It is what it is. Gotta accept it. 21 KB pre-order. Oh, are those the PVT sets? The really thick ones I saw. I won Blurple Darth Luga. Oh, congrats, Peaches. I think I saw that on the Discord server. Congrats, though. I entered for the Kipora, but I didn't win, so yeah. Are those good? I've seen a couple of them. How do they compare to CRP? What I heard is that they're thick, pretty thick keycaps. Like they're like 1.7 or 1.6 millimeter or something like that. I mean, yeah. And that they are also so they're thick. Wait, is it 1.7? I don't know what the measurement was. Is it how thick are keycaps these days? How thick are GMK caps? Just already forgot. 1.5, yeah, that's what I thought. I keep getting confused nowadays because people talk about like PCB thickness, plate thickness, all these things. I'm getting them mixed up sometimes. Okay, yeah. So 1.5 is like standard like GMK or OG Cherry thickness, right? So I heard the 21 KB ones are like 1.7, something like that. So they're thicker, and they're still PBT. I mean, some people say like the dye sub's pretty good. I mean, for the price. Like, obviously you do find some inconsistencies or like alignment differences, things like that. Like, I think like I would say like CRP might be a higher standard in that sense for the dye sublimation. But that said, I heard that the 21 KB stuff is pretty good for the price. I haven't seen it IRL, so I can't tell you. All I've seen is pictures. All I've seen is pictures, so. But I mean, they look cool. I like the Chinese set, the one with a lot of the legends. That one looked pretty cool. And I think some of the other ones were pretty nice too. But I mean, that's probably the one I would buy because I think I have everything else from CRP and whatnot. Or like, you know, I have it in GMK or something like that. So how has your Sunday been, Diego? Hope it's been good. It's been okay. I woke up a little. I slept in a little bit today because I did go to sleep pretty late yesterday. So I woke up. I was just on my phone, you know, checking my emails and stuff, and a video from Mr. James Hoffman popped up. So I watched some videos on coffee. How to make good coffee, basically. So I watched some James Hoffman videos. I love James Hoffman videos. So I just was watching James Hoffman videos for like an hour. Yeah. So yeah, just watch coffee videos. He's great. I really wish I had some more expertise on coffee. And so so I actually felt inspired, and so I made some coffee and had some breakfast. Oh, I mean, or brunch rather. Just made myself some food. And then I was earlier I was just doing chores. I was cleaning a bit, vacuuming, things like that, you know, mopping, cleaning. Just doing house chores really. And then I figured I had have some work to do, so I was just taking a look at that for a bit, and then I figured I had some free time, so I decided to stream because I do want to get through. I want to get through some builds while I have the chance, because I am most definitely gonna get busy this coming week and next. So like I only get a limited number of opportunities to stream. So just took advantage of it because it's a weekend, and I figured, well, I'm already kind of resting, so yeah. I like the video he did with Tom Scott walking a beginner through coffee stuff. Oh, I need to rewatch that actually. I want to, because I'm a beginner too. I only do pour overs. I don't do espresso because I haven't looked into espresso enough to be interested in buying expensive equipment for it. And also just looking at it, it actually seems like quite a lot of maintenance. Like I was, I've been watching his videos, and like, he talks about how like you need to clean it every week or whatever, and you want to make sure that your grounds are like really nice and even, and I don't know, man. And then you need to buy all these things, and people buy like replacement stuff for their machines, and it's so complicated. It's so much going on in these espresso machines, and there's more. Like, obviously it's like choosing your grinder, and then there's like those like those baskets, and then there's like the damn jug that you pour, and like if you do like lattes and stuff. Oh my goodness, there's so many things, there's so many moving parts, and I was like, okay, that's too much. I'll stick to pour overs. So I just do Chemex. And it's lovely. Or AeroPress, actually. I also do AeroPress every so often. Okay, so the third step that I was talking about stabilizers is first you can do a lighter even coat of lube around the wire, right? So you basically cover up to the L bend here. And the key part of lubing a stabilizer well is to lube the tip of the wire well. So because that's the portion where it's likely to tick or cause rattle. So in my case, I just get the brush with a little bit more lube than usual, and I basically like rub it against the tip like this, so that it leaves a lot of the lube at the tip, right? And you just basically trying to make a coat that's thicker than the rest of the wire, because it's this part that you want to stay in the stabilizer, and thick enough of a coat that it won't, like, even if it's making contact with any part of the housing, it's not making the noise that's uncomfortable to use. So once you're done, you have a decent bit of lube right at the tip only, right? I just insert it, and you clip it on. That's it. Simple. The keyboard hobby branches off into either audio equipment or espresso machines. Well, yeah, the people who are ballers for sure do. I, for one, I did not even branch into audio per se. I actually was looking for speakers and some headphones just to use at home. So I got one. Well, actually, somehow I landed a deal where I was trading some keycaps and whatever. And then this person was a big audiophile, and so they were like, oh, I have some audio gear that I could trade, and so I traded once, and that was it. That's it. I only traded once for some headphones and whatever, DAC amp, and that's basically been the end of my audio journey. And I have no plans on upgrading or anything like that, because there's too much money in it, and I personally can't even tell the difference. And I'm a Giga Chad. I way prefer to listen to music through speakers than through headphones, to be honest. Headphones are nice, but I like doing other things while I'm listening to music. Like, sometimes I stand up and do other stuff, and I want to be listening to the music at the same time. I'm not gonna get like wireless headphones all the time either, so speakers are just nicer. I just like blasting the music. Sometimes I get up and makes me want to feel like I want to dance or something. So I like speakers, okay? Sometimes I'm in the kitchen and I want to be hearing the music all the way from the kitchen, okay? So yeah, speakers. Diego can't taste snake oil. Yeah. Too afraid of snakes, my friend. I came into keyboards because it's cheaper than cars. Oh, cars are expensive. Cars are very expensive. I mean, not to mention you buy a car, it immediately devalues, right? So it's like once you sink in the money, it's gone forever. At least in keyboards, you have some relief that you can actually sell things at cost and it will sell, or even for more and it will sell. Like, I mean, in many cases, but like at least we had the benefit of getting the money back and to putting it back into it. if you wanted to, or just, you know, leaving it as is. So keyboards, we definitely have a lot of luck in the way that the hobby currently operates, that we actually have a bit of a safety net from how we spend. So I can imagine Diego bopping to his DNB while cooking. Oh, absolutely, buddy. Absolutely. Every hobby is just a gateway to another. I mean, yeah, of course. But yeah, like Ninja Pirate says, I'm in deep with headphones, but still prefer my speakers. Yeah, it's a nicer experience in my opinion. I mean, so I like live music a lot, right? So for me, yeah, like speakers are part of that experience for me. So yeah. I mean, well, even when I used to drive, which I did, I don't anymore, as in I don't have a car anymore because I live in New York City. When I would drive, yeah, I would, you know, I would close my windows. I wouldn't be rude, but I would play, like, you know, music loudly on my stereo and, you know, sing along or whatever, bopping on the freeway. You feel, you know, you wake up and sometimes you just want to listen to some jams, you know, feel good on your way to work or on the way back, or maybe you're sad and you just need that sad song, huh? You know? It's all part of the experience. It's all part of the experience. But yeah, speakers. Don't give me the hands-free. No. Nah, man. I usually have some UKF playlists in the background. Ah, UKF is great. Headphones, earphones when I'm in public places? Yeah, same. I mean, like offices, or when I just need. So sometimes the immersion of headphones is perfect, right? Like sometimes, like when playing games, headphones can be very useful because of the soundstage. And other times, when I need to concentrate and I just need complete isolation, like just decrease background noise, things like that, headphones are very useful for that. So I do like headphones for that reason too. So I do keep headphones around at all times. Like I do have like pods, like I have Galaxy Buds for like portable things, and I also have like the Sony whatever XM3, you know, the wireless, the Bluetooth ones, the ones that have pretty good noise canceling. Those ones I love. I use those for, like, you know, trips, library, you know, office work, when I just need that extra bit of noise canceling. Is that how I talk? Jesus Christ! When a song is good, I say this song is a bop. Yeah. This song's a bop. It's my jam. He closed the windows because he doesn't want anyone to know what weird stuff he listens to. Oh, I mean, sure, fair, but at the same time, no shame. No shame. Headphones for commute is perfect. Yeah, like for public transit. Oh, perfect for sure. Like some nice earbuds, or I mean, before I got into wireless anything, I would just, you know, use earphones like IEMs or something. But I never have had expensive IEMs. Like my most expensive IEMs are still the same ones I have, the Shure SE 215s, which are like, you know, they retail back then for like $99, I think. So that's been my most expensive quote unquote IEM. I know that some IEMs go for a bajillion. I mean, obviously I'm exaggerating, but I know that they can be quite expensive. And then, you know, people go into like cables and like all these different things about them. Yeah. I can imagine Diego just singing along to anime openings on his way to work and back. You know, I did it. But I also would sing other things, you know. Is that the Soren duck? Yeah, that is no the duck. When a song is good, I replay it because I didn't enjoy it to full extent the first time. Hey, sometimes you just gotta do that. I use headphones all the time when I'm at the computer, but if it's just stuff around the house, I throw Spotify up on my phone and have IEMs for in public. No, I have speakers on most of the time at home. Most of the time. The times I use headphones is really just for the immersion. But just generally speaking, I'm not wearing headphones. I'm not used to the feeling of having headphones on my head, actually. Once I start playing games or something, you know, I get used to it, but on a regular basis, I prefer to just have speakers on. If I'm like working at home, if I'm at home, right? Like obviously, like assuming that it's okay to do that. Like, you know, obviously if I can't be noisy, like I'll keep it down. I'll just use headphones. Every time I think of expensive IEMs, I think of Nathan's custom UE. Ultimate Ears, right? Those things are $1,500. Damn. I mean, custom stuff is always expensive, right? It's just like commissioning art, you know? It's like you're going for the like artisan kind of work, where like things are customized for you and it's all perfectly done, cater to your taste specifically, and not to mention the it's like boutique brands, all that stuff. So yeah. But you know what's funny? The thing about audio, right? At least for me, is like I feel like on an engineering perspective, audio, right? Like the goal of a lot of audio equipment is to maintain the purity of the signal, basically, right? Because you're converting, let's assume it's music. Oh, what the heck? Let's assume it's music. So that goes from analog, like the instruments, to digital, right? When it's captured. And then you're converting that digital audio back into analog, right? When you're listening to it. And it's basically the purity of that conversion that you're basically, and the encoding, right? How you're compressing it, if you compress it at all, if you're not compressing it, how you maintain it, how you store it, whether it corrupts, whether it doesn't, like how to maintain the purity of that signal. That's basically the gist of audio, right? But you know, like having studied some electrical engineering and communications and that kind of stuff, it's rather funny to think of audio, because we already do a pretty damn good job of keeping the purity of a signal. Like in general, just about in general. Like if you think of starting from back in the day when we had twisted pairs and like for the telephone line and that kind of stuff, right? We've gotten a lot better. And I feel like nowadays, right, it's such a big diminishing return there, right? And then, you know, of course, like amplifiers, right? Like you amplify a signal. Of course, if you amplify, you may cause, like, you may have some artifacts, right? Like artifacts in the sounds, in your signal, in your waveform. So that's like a concerning thing. But all in all, the engineering principles that we use to manipulate waveforms is pretty damn good already. Like, it's very good. Like, our signal reconstruction techniques are very good overall. So that's why, like, the further you go into audio, right, the return is so little. So little. But you're going for that premium, like, top-notch, cream of the crop quality, right? So yeah. GZ Prime, hello, my friend. And of course, when you're talking about physical parts now, like headphones or IEMs, like custom IEMs, right? Like you're trying to get perfectly fit, right? Because you're molding them to your ear and whatnot, so you get that perfect fit and isolation and all that. It's like at the end of the day, yeah, it's like we're taking a lot of steps for quite a little. But that said, I wouldn't say it's not worth it. I think it's worth it. It is costly though. It is worth it though. But that said, it doesn't necessarily mean you should push yourself to spend an exorbitant amount of money if you cannot afford it, of course. Like, obviously you should never do that. It is funny how deep a lot of the older audiophiles go when their hearing is already compromised anyway. Yeah, so that's actually really funny too, because there's hearing loss. And so, because a lot of people, a lot of audiophiles too, like not just because of age-based hearing loss. You also have like hearing loss just from like being exposed to sounds and like the fact that we actually put things at too high volumes for our ears, and there's also noise pollution, and right, it's like, yeah, our ears are kind of bad. And so if you're in that hobby, right, you're digging deep just to compensate for the loss too, because that's your perception is going to change a little bit over time, even when you're young, quote unquote. So it's funny. I mean, I'm sure the times have changed in that sense. Like maybe a long time ago when noise pollution was not as big, and like, you know, concerts maybe weren't as loud or whatever, I don't know. Maybe that was less of an issue, and that kind of pursuit was maybe capped out somewhere. I doubt it, because there's always someone trying to achieve perfection. But it's funny when you think about it that way. What's the price point of diminishing returns for a pair of headphones and DAC amp? I feel like, what did you say, like a couple $100 is probably, well, like let's say a pair of headphones like could be like, yeah, let's say a couple $100 per like large category at most is probably where you start seeing a lot of the diminishing returns. I am not an expert, so I'm not gonna assert this with any confidence at all, but I would argue. Are we talking about keyboards or audio? I mean, right now it's just audio, but I mean, it's just engineering in general, I guess. Audio is probably one of the oldest niches as well. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, it's like we've enjoyed sounds of nature and sounds of things. It's, you know, hearing in general for so many years now. And specifically, like recorded audio is, you know, it's pretty old now too. It's like we've had recorded sounds for quite some time. 500, 800 is the pretty darn good range. Yeah, 200 gets you decent headphones, plus the same again on a DAC amp. Yeah, I would agree with that, right? So I'm like literally one step right above that, where I have a more than decent DAC amp combo, decent headphones, decent speakers, and I stopped right there because I was like, oh, okay, I think I'm enjoying what I have, and I'm just gonna stay here. However, I see people like Ninja Pirate and Alex and other people post some beautiful pictures of beautiful equipment, and I'm like, oh, that is so pretty. That is so pretty. And I'm just like, man, I want some of those planar like cans, you know? I'm like, damn, they look good. They look so good. Vanity. It's all vanity. I know, it's just like keyboards though. They look pretty. They're about the same. They look pretty though. So the temptation's strong. But I have a vice, and that is keyboards and other things associated with keyboards. That's enough. So that's where I stopped myself. I stopped myself at keyboards just because I already have it good enough there. Like all these influences around me. It's already bad enough. So I've been trying to be a strong person resisting this influence. But yeah. I need to get a better speaker system for my desktop. That said, for those who are here looking for audio or keyboard advice, just about in general, I do feel like in our community, at least right now, like with the current overlap in tech gear. There are a lot of people who are super resourceful and super helpful and not quite judgmental, and they're just like, you know, if you have this budget, like you tell them like, hey, like I'm new into this, and this is my budget more or less. I would like to, you know, like what would you say I should buy and stuff. People have very good recs in my opinion, and it's super helpful, I think, which is really nice. Like there's obviously always some elitists, or not elitists per se, but the balls to the walls kind of guys, you know, like the people who are like, if you don't have the super expensive, super premium, you know, limited edition whatever thing, then, you know, can't be in our club, basically. Which is mean, straight up. But I think overall, I do think that we have a pretty darn good community that doesn't do that as much. Keyword. Just remember always, when you think about any hobby that's niche, you need to look at that video with the guy with the water. The really funny guy with the water video. I forget his name. But you know what I'm talking about, right? That YouTube video with the guy who talks about the cup of water. It's so good, it's so funny, but it's so relevant. It's so true. That's how. Prosd, yeah. So funny though. But anyway, always ProZD. Yeah. So always remind yourself of that video. When you feel like a snob. When you ever feel like a snob about your hobby, watch that video and you're like, okay, I totally sound like this. I totally sound like this. Oh, so good though. But yeah, everyone in this hobby is a whole bunch of nerds. Yeah, reality, we're just a bunch of geeks, nerds, whatever, you know, smart asses. TBH, we love to play the actually card, right? I mean, we all feel that self-satisfaction of telling somebody what we know and then being like, oh, I see, thank you so much for your advice, right? Yeah, we feel very self-important and shit. It's like, it's a nice feeling for sure to be dependable, you know. It's like, if anything, you can do it in the hobby and not in some other places because maybe, you know, it's not going too well for you, which is fine. No one's perfect. And so yeah, we sometimes project that here. But I think in this community we do have a very welcoming bunch of people. Anyway, thoughts on stab cutouts on the Merisi TKL? Stab cutouts? I'll have to check on the TKL though. I need to go back on the VOD and actually look at the plate. But I mean, they're fine. I don't remember them being weird or any like yeah, controversial. So relevant to all my hobbies too. I know. Actually, I know. It's like we love being the actually guy. We love that. I know. It's like I'm guilty of it. Everyone's guilty of it. It's like, yeah. No one's a saint. Alright? Like no one's a fucking saint. Like that's just the way it is. Like we all have our moments of self-righteousness and being an idiot. Would be able to get nicer keywords if I didn't buy PVC waifus? I mean, hey, everyone has a vice. Actually, I'm not an actually guy. You know. Okay, that should be enough to hold this together. What's funny is ProZD made it a skit about a real thing. Also, Laguber, hello. There are dudes out there that are like that about what? Oh, I'm sure. Oh, absolutely. People talking about parts per million of whatever substance that you probably don't even know about or hear about ever. I'm sure people are like snobs about everything out there. Yeah, for sure. Water sommelier? Yeah. Yeah. Like, you know, it's like wine. It's like the wine enthusiasts. Same thing. It's like they're basically gargling this tiny ass gulp of wine, and they're like, can you tell these flavors? I mean, coffee aficionados. I mean, Mr. Hoffman himself, right? Grabs his little spoon and he uses like 27 adjectives to describe the taste of coffee. Surely you can do the same with keyboards. Water. Ice Mountain water is bad though. I really don't know why Ice Mountain. And I just go and taste and be like, this is sour. You know, I think the nicest detail of this plate and PCB combo of this particular board is these cutouts over here, with the reset button on the left and the hand silk screen matching with the plate cutout. So nice. It's a nice little detail that just looks good. I'm mad the hands are not mirrored. I think it's okay though, because it's a logo. If you mirror them, then you could confuse the viewer as to what's the right orientation. So I think as visual reinforcement of the logo, I think it's nice. I think it's actually smart to not invert it. Nacho. It's all about good marketing, you know. Part of that is knowing when to stamp your logo in places so that people can just look at it and be like, boom, that brand. Just like Apple. You don't see Apple inverting their logo. Gurgle activated charcoal and fluorite notes. 110 parts per million lead. My water condensed to the top of one of the rarest volcanoes, which naturally filters through dinosaur ashes and is thus collected and osmosis purified. Oh my gosh. Truly, there can be snobness on everything. Bit of lube on this side, it would be good. Oops, couldn't tell there. Looking to buy one of the two? Oh, I think I missed the question. Glacier 80 or Owl Lab Spring? I don't know. I have not looked at neither very much in detail. But I think they're different layouts, right? Are they? Or are they just... Yeah, they're different layouts. Yeah, so that's gonna be a tough choice, I think. It really depends on your preference of the layout. Alright, I think the stabs sound pretty good. What do I prefer? Is that what you're asking? I like both 60s and TKLs, and personally I treat Alice layout as a 60%, but the Arisu layout, the arrow ones, those are basically a 65% because the arrows are on the right side, right? But the way the Owl Lab one did it was kind of different, odd, a little bit. Like I feel like it would take me a bit of a learning curve there to get used to it. So I would prefer to use a layout that I'm more familiar with rather than a layout that I have to get used to, like start anew for that. I don't like the Artshift layout, Artshift location on the Owl Lab. Yeah, me neither. I did see that. People were talking about it in my Discord server. I use both shifts actually. I use both left shift and right shift depending on what it's for. Like for some shift and number shortcuts, I use a left shift. I use right shift for a lot of my capitalizing, but I also use left shift for some of my capitalizing. So, as someone who uses both shifts, like if a right shift position is kind of weird, it's definitely gonna throw me off. Which is something I'm actually worried about for the Type K also because of the way it shortens some of the shift. Does anyone have experience with 30-gram Topre domes or 35-gram Des domes? I only have tried like light Topre, but in like a limited setting. I personally think that the lighter than 45, basically like lighter than stock 45, is very light. Like it's light to the point where I personally don't like it. Like it's just too light to use. That said, it's not bad when it's like in the variable dome configuration, like when like there's some real force boards that have variable dome sheets where like certain fingers basically press on different weightings for the domes. So in those cases it's okay. It's actually laid out in a way that it's reasonable to use and actually pretty comfortable. And I can get used to that. But I think a full sheet of 30 or whatever is too light overall. Are the switches filmed? They're not actually. They are not filmed. The reason being that Durock POMs have pretty tight housings already. The wobble on Durock POMs is quite minimal, so I didn't. So these are not filmed. Yeah, no. The housing wobble is extremely small, little. The same applies for the Cobalt POMs, which are essentially the same switch, just a bit different spring, I think, maybe, and different color. Well, Linear Gang, I think your answer is already, seems like you are already settled on an answer, which is good. So if it's like, depends on what's more accessible, I think that would be, that's good. Do you film H1 switches? So, that's funny that you mentioned actually. So I do have a build with H1s coming up, and I was asked to loop some of those switches. And I actually was thinking that I would not need films. Well, it turns out that I opened the switches up and lubed a few of them, and I just kind of tested along the way. And I just feel like the TX, I mean not the TX, the H1 housings do loosen up a little bit after you open them once. So I actually started using I put some of the I haven't finished lubing those actually, but I was putting some of the 0.125 films from TX and that seemed to do the job. So I feel like when in doubt, you can always use thinner films, like the TX ones. I mean, I pretty much only use TX films or Deskey's films these days. So sometimes I use Durock films actually, because I do have some Durock films every so often. It's depending on what I have in my inventory essentially, but they all do the same, like they all do the same job, which is to reduce the gap and the wobble caused by said gap after the housings loosen up a little bit after you open them. So as long as the films do their job, it doesn't really matter. Hello, Ellen Monster, how are you? Nuclear Keeps, hello. Welcome. I can feel the resistance from Lube with light coats at 205. For the, I'm assuming for the POMs? Yeah, the POMs are definitely a pretty smooth switch already, so a minimal amount of lube is plenty enough. I think these will be pretty nice in this build, though. Do you use 205 Grade Zero with any mixture or very light coating only? I use very light coating for 205. If you're talking about like lubing switches, yeah, just a light coat. Just like barely coat your brush and then just apply it. Yeah. Or you can always use those micro applicators. I believe I have an exclamation applicators command, I think, that links you to these tiny like Q-tip looking applicators. And those are disposable and very easy to use. Those apply a very minimal amount. If you want to really make a very even and very little coat, those can be pretty handy. Sometimes I use those, not all the time, but sometimes I do. I do have like a couple of packs of them, so they're actually like, you know, they come in like pretty large packs, so you won't run out after you buy one. So, but they're easy to use, so. Maybe it's a mistake to buy Carbon GS2 when 205 already feels a little bit too sluggish. Yeah, I guess they're pretty similar, right? Are these Durock pianos? Yeah, Durock POMs, Durock pianos, yeah. Yeah. I'm living the bag lube my stem's life. Huh, interesting. I can't say that I can relate because I don't do that. Or I've done it a couple times, but I don't do it on a regular. Alright, gonna start soldering. Do you break in MX Blacks before lubing? No. I don't bother with that stuff. I have no patience. For me, the marginal improvement from breaking in, unless it's done with like those machines that people have been using, which seems kind of promising to be honest. I mean, the thing about those break-in machines is that they're doing this for many thousands of actuations, which is more than you humanly feasibly can in a short amount of time. Like, you just have to, yeah, like doing it by machine is the way. So unless that's the case, no, I don't. Why? Because it's a very minuscule kind of improvement. You know, marginal improvement, not really worth it in my opinion. Yeah, and I don't have the patience for it, so I don't. So I guess, yeah, that's the answer. I don't. But yeah, Drew, actually, you're saying like you might not like because it's like sluggish or whatever. Sometimes I like how some different lubes, like even if I don't necessarily like how it feels at the beginning when I first start using them, because they eventually like the lube kind of spreads and it even like thins out a little bit, right? Once you start using it, I do like some lubes for like, because they like do change the sound of the switch a bit. So sometimes it's worth trying at least. So yeah, I'll at least give it a shot with at least a few, and then see how that goes for you. If you don't, then that's it. You know. Might as well try. My friend who breaks in all of our friends' group switches does 1 million actuations, kind of bonkers time-wise. It's just, yeah. It's quite a bit of work. And those machines, those breaking machines, are really loud too. You need to keep them in, like, you need to really put some sound isolation around them so that it's like livable with it around. Or put them in their own room where the noise doesn't really get out. We talking about breaking machines again? Are we? Yes, I guess we are. I mean, this is the first time here, but yes, we are. No possible way to do 1 million by hand? Yeah, of course. Not in a realistically. Anyway, as Peaches did allude through the command usage, do feel free to check out the sponsors of the channel. There have been a lot of new changes for the different sponsors. Keys has been seeing quite a lot of changes recently, and there's a lot of excitement around the news that they've been providing. They've been also releasing new sets, like the nice PVT sets, quite a few of them actually. There's a very large variety that I do suggest you to check out. And there are, of course, other vendors that you should check out as well. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, so I will be building a Bakken Echo 65 soon, so stay tuned for that. And then moving on, we do have Kinetic Labs. Kinetic Labs just recently released their burger desk mat, pretty cute, along with Tiny Makes Things. She's been collaborating with Kinetic Labs for not just that one, but a few other products. And we have also seen collaborations with like Apiary Keyboards and Alex Autos and a lot of other, designers and makers in the community. Do check out Kinetic Labs for, of course, we were talking about Carbon GS1 and GS2 lube as well, but they also have like a lot of different switches that we've used some of them in this stream, and you've probably seen out there in other places like the hippos and the salmons and penguins and so on and so forth. I also do suggest checking out their PVT cap collection. They do have like PVT corn and PVT whale and octopus and all these sets that are pretty nice. They also have like the blank sets, like the 909 set that they first released when they first kind of came into the scene. Very nice set, actually, for a very affordable price. They also do have springs and films and things like that. Other resources that you might need for your keyboard building and switch modding. You might want to check out on Kinetic Labs. But anyway, they do ship from New Jersey, and so if you're in the East Coast, things will arrive rather quickly. And their service is quite spectacular. I personally really like Kinetic Labs. Is fast and pretty efficient in my opinion. Customer service, at least in my experience. Like, this was actually before I even had gotten affiliated with them in any way. They're just like very responsive and responsible. Yo, Tim, it's been a while, dude. How are you? Thank you so much for the 15 months. Please lick keyboard booty. I'm not licking anything, not during these times, buddy. But how you doing, buddy? How you doing, Tim? It's been a while, dude. What's been keeping you busy lately? What's cooking? Been okay, man. It's been a while. I mean, yeah, dude. I know that you had some struggles in between too, like getting sick and whatnot, and I hope you're doing okay. Sorry about the sirens. Pretty loud day in the city today. There was a big fire in the Bronx today. Really tragic. Many people died in a big apartment fire today. So there's been a lot of sirens going around today. Lots of things happening recently, but I'll fill you in on DMs if you're interested. Why not? I wouldn't mind hearing about it. I mean, if it's too personal or anything like that, you know, you can abstain. You don't have to force yourself to feel well acquainted. But you don't have to be a stranger either. Damn fire in the Bronx? Yeah, apparently it's one of the biggest apartment fires that we've seen in quite some time. It's very unfortunate. Very sad, actually. So many children died in that fire? Yeah. Yeah, it was a family building basically, so... So sad. Yeah. Anyway, ominous and grim news aside, do wanted to encourage you guys to check out Omnitype as well. There's a Keep Town poster over there, which I actually just got in the mail not long ago, the updated poster. It's actually over here. I wish I could show you. Oh, I can't turn this camera easily though. But I do have the updated poster, which is actually now in stock, by the way. Horrendous indeed. Yeah. Is there any difference between the Sessantacinque and 84 besides the layout in terms of feel and sound? I mean, the concept is the same, yeah. They're both top mount. They both have heavy weights, steel weight and whatnot. I guess the 84 at least has the 84 one has a brass piece as well on the interior. But yeah, I would say that the layout would layout only even will already make a difference. So yeah, you can expect a difference already just from the layout alone. Like, it's not even about the design itself, even just the size of the keyboard, it's quite enough to make a big difference. So that question is actually kind of hard to answer. What's the difference between the old and updated poster? A few things. Of course, since Kate left RamaWorks, of course, she is now a standalone figure in the poster as well. There have been a few minor changes, fixes to some of the branding, some of the little Easter eggs that were put on the poster. I mean, I would suggest you to check it out and find out for yourself what those changes were. But that's a big one. But there's a few other things, minor things, but that had went under revision and reprinted. But you know, they also come with stickers. So if you are into stickers, I think the posters do come with 2 or 3 stickers of the of random characters in the posters. So. But I mean, the poster is based on keyboard community members, so you know, it's a good way to support artwork that is also pro community kind of, and in a way, it's nice to have something that's kind of reminiscent of your fellow community. There's kiwis in the poster now. Oh, I see. There were not before. Well, that's good that there are now. Alright, next up we have Prime Keyboards. They just recently reopened their store again because they were on vacation for a little bit, but this is where I actually just recently bought quite a lot of stabilizer sets again because I need to restock on the Durock V2 stabs. So I got a bunch of Durock V2 stabs from here. They also sell Cobalt POMs. They're on sale right now, actually. They also have alpaca switches and other accessories like desk keys, films, and switch openers, loop stations, that kind of stuff. They have a very cool RGB acrylic graphic sort of display where it's like a little light and like an RGB light under this cool engraved acrylic piece of an MX switch footprint. It looks pretty good. Like if you want to put that on a bedside table or maybe on your desk or some display, they look nice. They also have the new Milmax sockets. If you're looking for Milmax sockets that are smaller and easier to fit for your PCBs, they do sell those there too. They also have the Simpler 60 keyboard, which is a 60% kit that's like a one piece and it has a gasket mount and that kind of stuff. But basically they've removed standoffs, and then basically there's a lot of flex to the typing of this particular board, and I believe it's been reviewed by a few people as well. And it's supposed to ship early this year, so but I believe you can still add to cart. So yeah. All right, next we have Project Keyboard. Project Keyboard right now, there are still some extras for DCS Delftware. Yeah, so if you missed out on Delftware, there's some there. There's still some pre-orders available for Pingsu, Astral Light, and some other things. Maybe the Ultra 5 as well. I think I haven't checked the stock recently, but I'm pretty sure that the Ultra 5 might still have some pre-order stuff available. Alright, and then we have Salvin. Over on Salvin, we have just a few things. I think there's a couple desk mats, some switches left over, and there's still apparel like socks and whatnot. So if you're also in EU and you're looking for some stabs, Salvin has stabs. If you also own a keyboard that is compatible with a Welbitech WT series PCB, the Graphite Edition PCBs, hot swap or solderable are available through the Salvin website. I believe that's the only place right now that has the Graphite PCBs in stock. So if you're looking like a replacement PCB for any that support the particular board, you should you could check it out. And then finally we have Space Cables, spaceholdings.net. You can check them out. They also have MW Sogurt. MW Sogurt is a new set that just went up, I think. It's the base kit under $100, and it has a humongous amount of compatibility. It's based on I think it's based on like yogurt drinks, right? But yeah, it's by Milky Way. PVT cherry profile caps. Pretty cute set. Yeah. But MW Sogurt is on Space Cables right now, and let's see. Space Cables also has some desk mats, of course. Some desk mats mostly. I think that's about it. And of course they have lube like XHC BDZ. They also have 205 grade 0. They have lube stations, and yeah, I think the rest is mostly desk mats. And yep, that's it. And then finally, if you are looking for a custom plate to be made or anything like that, CBB Planet can help you with that. So you can go and check out cbbplanet.com, where you can actually get a discount for any custom plate that you order if you use the affiliate link or if you use the promo code Lightning on checkout. So you can get some discount for any custom plates that you might need if you want to get anything like, you can get, I believe, from... There are so many materials actually. Like you can get made-to-order plates made out of polyethylene, carbon fiber, POM, aluminum, FR4, frosted polycarb, semi-clear polycarb, and you can get one or multiple units. Yeah, and then McLovin PCBs also available. They have the Alice layout PCBs. They also have the Q compatible PCBs, and they also have the J60 PCB, which is compatible with the Unicorn R1 and also R2.1 with the JST connector. So it's a very cool PCB. Comes in purple, I believe, with the OT356 mini like row flex cut, and it's a 1.2 millimeter PCB, so pretty flexible, but pretty nice. And then there's like random accessories that go all up on TV, like the BongoCat screw trays that I have here, or like the magnetic tracer. I think right now they have still some black ones left. And they also have they had some Domi keys space bars go up recently in cherry profile in black color and beige, but I think the beige sold out really quickly. And they also have stabilizer wires if you're looking for some extra stabilizer wires. I think they don't have 7U left, but they have 2Us and 6.25Us still. Alright, let's test out this PCB first before I put in the... Delftware, blah blah. Delftware is a nice set in my opinion. Diego is speaking at 1.5x speed. Hey, look, there's a lot to cover and not too much time, and people don't want to necessarily hear it all the time. So I understand. I mean, like, to be honest, I would just say like, hey, like, I encourage you guys to check out all the different vendors, but sometimes you want to lay it all out so people maybe like catch something that they didn't hear about before. I also missed a switch. Oh, that's right, there was a bent pin, so I was gonna take that out and resolder that. not accidentally solder. Okay. Are the Durock POMs smoother after lubing or smooth after lubing? Yeah, they're very smooth. They're very, very smooth switches. Like even from the get-go without lubing, they're already pretty smooth. But with lubing, they can be very smooth. I would suggest, I think somebody else mentioned it in chat earlier as well, but don't over lube them. They are very tight housings in general. If you do lube excessively, they can feel a little sluggish. So just light coat of lube is more than enough. So yeah, that's the only thing I would say about it though. They're pretty smooth switches though, just about in general. Alright, just reflowing a couple of these. Okay. Alright. Okay, cool. What is the software called? Oh, this is VIA. VIA. I think exclamation VIA will take you to the website. It's like, can I use VIA.com? Alright, let's put this together now. We're pretty much done here. So, gotta put the daughter board on first. SP stars or Durock POMs in your opinion, Lightning? They're actually kind of different. So Durock POMs have like long pole stems. I'm not sure if all the SP stars do. They don't, right? I think. And I'm not sure. Remind me, but they might be different in housing material as well. At least for some of the SP stars. Not all SP stars are made the same way, so they might differ a bit. Something to note. Can you feel a long pole stem? I tried linear thock stems and hated them. Well, yeah, long pole is always kind of apparent because long pole stems will essentially reduce your bottom out travel distance slightly. So you will always be able to tell that you have a slightly shorter travel. So if you hated long pole stems before, you know, I would say that maybe Durock POMs are not for you. Do SP Star Meteor Whites need to be filmed? I actually cannot answer that question because I don't have any SP Star Meteor Whites with me, but I know that some people in chat have used them. So hopefully they can answer the question. But if not, I mean, I can look it up for you later. Is it not possible to make a long pole stem that doesn't reduce travel distance? No. I mean, what are you gonna do? I guess. No. No, basically no. The only way I could see that is if the channel where the little tube where the pole goes into, you would have to make that deeper somehow, which means it should extend further than the bottom surface of the switch. You have to extend past that and further down. So that would be unnecessarily tedious to make a mold out of. I think that's the problem. You'd have to make a mold for it, and molds are not cheap. You would have to make a mold specifically for the housings, which is less cheap than for a stem. Is there an incentive for it? Probably not. Not to that extent, I would say. It's like if I were a Switch manufacturer, I'm not sure about that. I'd say like we already have quite a few offerings, so no. You know? They aren't crazy expensive, sure, but still it's just work. It's just extra work. Time is money, you know? It's just extra work. Do we need to do it? No. Hold up. There we go. Can I go wrong with filming SP stars at all? Well, I mean, easiest way to find out is try it on a few switches. If the switch doesn't feel right, then you revert it. Right? You shouldn't be afraid to experiment a little bit. Otherwise, how would you know? At least switch films are like, what, $5 plus shipping? Yeah, you don't need to, but if you want to, you can try, yeah. Diego, have you used CV? Oh, Eric, I didn't answer that question from you. Have I used CV planet plates? Yeah, I have. I have a few. Or I have tried a few. I would say, if you're in the US, to be honest, and you're trying to make custom plates, CV would be my go-to regardless of my affiliation with them. If that makes sense. Like, there are some other options like Send Cut Send, Laser Boost, and Ponoko and so on, or like other CNC based stuff. But I would say that it's why when there's CVB. You know what I mean? When you can get like, you know, made order plates pretty reliably and for a pretty decent price, even if it's just one plate. Yeah, at least for keyboards, yeah. Because the other places don't necessarily just do it for keyboards; they also do other things. So, you know, what's the turnaround time for on average for CV on plates? I would say like oh, it depends. Right now, you're probably close enough to Chinese New Year, so I would expect it after like probably if you order now, I would expect it like in March, mid-March, late March maybe. But I would say like it can take anywhere from a few weeks all the way through, you know, a couple months. So right now though, with Chinese New Year and new outbreaks around the corner, I would expect a longer turnaround time. Yeah. Depends on the plate too, yes. Depends on the plate, yeah. Yeah, some plate materials will probably vary. Also, Futurebound asks, any idea how much a fair aftermarket price for OG cherry palm blanks would be? I think these days I've seen them go for like $300 or $400 at least. For OG cherry palm blanks, at least. And that's just for like you know, they don't remember that OG cherry palm blanks only support 6.25 offset spacebar and 1.25 U keys for bottom row. All right. So what set are we using today, guys? We can use wob like last time, but we can use something else as well. Let's see. I have carbon. I have a lot of sets. Hold up. Wob Hangul. Too bad I don't have it. Do I have wob? Of course I have wob. Of course. GMK Classic Arabic Easy Clap. Okay, it's decided. Let me go get it. Nacho's rolling in points these days. But yeah, anyway, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Accent or no accent? I don't know yet. Figure it out. Accents? Okay. position. Rather moves end. Here. I feel like the red accents should have white text. I think it would... I think the contrast would be a little bit too heavy-handed with pure white at least. So maybe a different color, but I mean, I don't know, maybe. Maybe it will look nice, maybe not. Actually, I'm not sure. Alright, let's pick some artisans. I have some red stuff over here. It kind of goes nicely. So, ooh, this painted Sparky is kind of cool. Kind of niche. Or Explorer would look kind of nice. This would kind of look nice too. It's all this more on the orangish side, but it's fine. The bowl is kind of more natural colory, but it's definitely Christmas themed. It's okay though. Olympic Kiwi. Oh, you guys like the Kiwi? The Kiwi's so white though. I guess it's a fine contrast. Sorry about that. So loud. Lingonberry? Okay, fine. Or Explorer it is. Oh wait, so do you want me to... I guess I should switch the position of them then. If you want the red accent on the escape. Alrighty. Is that good? One sec. Alrighty, let's see. Sounds like the same car every time. It does, right? But it's not. At least apparently. Doesn't seem like it anyway. Alright, let's give this a try then. I ordered a spicy chicken bowl from a Korean fried chicken place. I forgot that when Koreans call something spicy, it's really spicy, so now my mouth and stomach are on fire. True, Koreans do like their food pretty spicy. I actually can't handle some of the Korean spice kind of stuff because it's just a little bit too spicy for my own stomach. But that said, I mean, it's tasty. It's pretty tasty. So. Holy shit, that was a mistake. My scalp is sweating. Oh my god. You know, they call Koreans like the Irish of the East. And it's not just for the drinking, but it's like the spice and all these things. It's like we're like the barbarians. But that said, that's also not true, because there's also like other regions that have extremely spicy food, and it's probably spicier than Korean food in general. So that's also kind of untrue at the same time. Anyway, let's give this a shot. I mean, yeah, there's so many. There's all these different Asian countries have extremely spicy food. So there's no easy comparison for that. All right, let's give this a shot, shall we? So we have an aluminum plate on this top mount keyboard, the Merisi Sessantacinque, and we have Durock POM switches. These are the long pole linears, yeah. So these were lubed with 2.5 grade 0, and right now we have some GMK classic beige, classic retro Arabic. Let's give it a shot. Started slow, but sped up a little. Let's give it one more try, and then we'll go over the rest. All right. Chatson, is that a third-party app? Sounds like an input device. It sure sounds like an input device. Wonderful input devices we talk about here in this channel. About the same. Pretty nice though. Pretty nice. I like. Very clacky on the alphas. And the spacebar has that like thunky sort of sound where it kind of like thunks on the bottom there. But it's definitely a bit different sound from like MX Blacks, let's say. So kind of unique, but that's a nice sound. All right. Let's kind of sounds like the Dolphin. Oh, that's a good comparison. Yeah, Dolphin does kind of have a sound like that, especially for the mods. Anyway, so here are the rest of the keys and the mods and everything else. Oh, music's still blasting. Oopsie, my bad. My bad. I totally forgot. Sorry, bud. No one said it. Oh wait, only one drunk man? Oh, 3D Gar said it, but I didn't hear it from anybody else. Wait, Futurebound, you said it? Oh, you said music, and then it's still on. Oh, okay. So I didn't read it. Sorry, I had chat covered. Yeah. So my typing test Windows covers the chat, so I can't read chat until after it's done. It's okay. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have been too loud. It's okay. If you wanted to try again, I can try again. We can try it again. All right. Since y'all love to complain. Just kidding. All right, let's try it again. Ah. Wine and dine. That's a nice one. Anyway, so there it is. Let's give it a try again, and let's check the mods out now. All right, here are the mods. That's what it is. Yeah, there's a little bit of reverb on the mods, actually. Like the space bar especially is where you hear it the most, probably. Like you kind of hear a little bit of the sort of like vibrating sound when you bottom up. But it's probably because, I don't know, maybe it's just the case, the way the case is made. But the plate is like properly tight to the top, so it's not like the plate hitting against anything, at least. But it sounds nice. I mean, in regular typing, it's pretty good. You know, it's like in regular typing, this is pretty nice. So, yeah. Do you think foam would get rid of the reverb? Possibly, yeah, probably. I mean, like, foam in general fills up spaces and would most definitely get rid of some sound because it like tends to dampen things out, right? Yeah, I mean, it would certainly change the sound. Would I use any? Probably not, because I think I already like how it sounds. I like the way it sounds right now. Yeah, no, I think the mods sound pretty good as it is. And like the alphas are fine, so yeah. Yeah, no, I think I'll leave it as is, personally. Sounds like a clacky Bauer to me. I think the Bauer has... The Bauer kind of feels like, at least in my experience, it's a bit more like empty, so it has a very roomy sort of sound. This one has that kind of roomy sort of sound too, but I think the Bauer is like particularly prominent on that. Alrighty. Any other thoughts, requests, suggestions, questions, whatever? Will there be a sound test of this uploaded to Tube? Maybe. If I'm feeling like it, yes. Diego, do you have a unicorn that you can show type on? I mean, yeah, the one we built the last time. Remember? If you were here, I think, right? It's this one. Yeah. And it's a little, yeah, it's like. Yeah, my own has lavenders on it, so not MX Blacks. Yeah. Yeah, and it has DCS on it, so it definitely sounds different from your regular ABS double shots or PBT kind of stuff, like the thicker ones. MX Brown sound great, yeah. I mean, sound amazing, yeah. I really like MX Brown. I mean, I actually really like these broken in MX Browns. They're very nice. Would I pay for them? I'm not sure. They're kind of expensive for sure. But that said, yeah, I mean, I probably don't think I need it, but they're very nice switches nonetheless. Like the broken in ones. I think maybe I will try them one time. Why not? You know? It's like a nice one-time kind of experience where it's like, oh, I'll use broken in MX Browns, but I don't think I would buy it for like every key or anything like that. It's just a lot. But yeah. Raid Pudzy? Oh, Pudzy streaming? I didn't know that. Alright, so here's the board we have built today. Here it is in all its glory. This is the Merisi 65 or Merisi Sessantacinque. Has this wind keyless bottom over here. There is also a wind key version, but it's a 65%. Pretty classic look. Bezels are slightly uneven, so meaning that it's slightly thinner on the right and left, and slightly thicker on the top and bottom. Nice little chamfers and then internal sides as well. But the side profile is very classic, just kind of like a wedge with handles. And you can see the R5 bottom row over there looking very nice. As always, I highly recommend R5 to try because it looks very nice. I mean, it's mostly aesthetics, really. Some people find it uncomfortable for themselves, but I personally don't. And I think I like the aesthetics of R5 a lot, so I advocate for it. Yeah, USB port over here in the back, nicely recessed port on the bottom, parallel to the ground or parallel to your desk. Again, the sides over here, and dirty hands, but here's our weight. Merisi 65 weight. It comes with a stainless steel that's been brushed, so there's a brushed stainless steel weight. Looks very clean. Looks very nice. I think it's very underrated. Nice and brushed stainless steel is a very finely brushed weight, so you don't really feel, there's no real texture to it. It actually feels very smooth. But the look of it is like this brushed look, so it looks great. I think I like this better than polished personally, but just because polish is very hard to maintain clean and whatnot. But yeah, nice board though. Top mount has that red aluminum plate peeking through, kind of barely right now in the lighting, but yeah, there you go. It like peeks through in the right reflective lighting here, but it looks very nice. Anyway, yeah. So, do you guys have anything else that you wanted to ask or talk about? Have a good week. Alright, well, so I think that's it for the stream then. Thank you so much, One Drunk Man. I hope you have a great week as well. I hope you have a productive and good week. Stay safe, you know. It's pretty monka-ass out there right now. A lot of people I know testing positive and that kind of stuff, so yeah, better be careful. Alright, let's go raid somebody, shall we? So I see that Mr. Pudsey is live, as somebody mentioned. If you guys want to hear Pudsey talk about recent news, we can raid him. I see Disastertron is doing some mill-maxing and other stuff. Nuclear Keeps is building an F284 if you want to look at that. I see Code Coffee Code building a Mode 65. They're almost done, it looks like. And I don't see really any other keyboard people, at least. So, read Pudsey? Okay. Let's go raid. A full stream of Pudsey's opinions? Well, you don't have to stay, so. Alright, let's go raid Mr. Pudsey. And I'll just say, somebody said they don't want to hear your opinions for an entire stream period. Meowgo, lol, Pepe. No, I guess there's no. What's a global emote that I can use? That's fine. Let's just use the local ones here. That's our raid message. Oh shit, no, wrong. Hold on. They don't want to hear. Typo. There. So there's our raid message. Let's go raid Mr. Pudsey. Again, thank you so much for coming by tonight. I will see you guys. So Pudsey is a community member. He's been around for quite some time. And he knows a little bit of everything. But sometimes he says some funny, ridiculous things, and sometimes he has good insight. So yeah, it's a bit of a wild card kind of guy. So I hope you have fun watching him talk about a lot of things. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Okay, see you guys. Bye bye.